Introducing Pasta Made Easy by Imperial. Your new pasta maker makes it easy to enjoy the freshest, most flavorful pasta you've ever eaten. Just pour in the ingredients and turn it on. This machine automatically mixes, kneads, and shapes the dough into any one of 12 different authentic pasta shapes. Use either all-purpose or gourmet flours and add purees to make perfect spinach, tomato, whole wheat pasta, in this case it's macaroni, and many more. You create the flavor. During this presentation, we will cover the basics that you'll need to know, as well as important tips for easy and efficient use of our new pasta maker. We will cover parts and assembly, operation, dough consistency and extrusion, and cleaning. Please follow along closely because it's very important to achieve proper dough consistency in order for your new machine to work properly. If the dough is either too wet or too dry, the machine will not extrude properly. This is a built-in safety feature designed to ensure that the pasta you produce will be perfect every time. We recommend that you watch this video completely and perhaps even more than once before beginning to ensure great results. Also, we recommend that you keep this video on hand for future use, along with your instruction manual, which has been designed to be a quick and easy reference for all aspects of operating your machine. If you have any additional concerns, please feel free to call our customer service department toll-free between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Central Standard Time at 1-800-335-5835. Parts and assembly. Your pasta maker comes completely assembled, and as with any new appliance, we recommend that you take it apart and clean it before use. First, unscrew the die holder using the die holder wrench. Remove the die and pull out the pusher. Remove the lid by pressing gently on the release lever and lifting. Press the mixing bowl release lever and slide out the mixing bowl. Slide the mixing arm rod out from the back of the bowl and lift out the mixing arm. Turn the extrude mix control to extrude until it stops. Slide off the mixing gate and remove the pusher bearing. Do not immerse the main unit in water, but all other parts can be washed in warm, soapy water or placed in the dishwasher without the drying cycle. Make sure the cord is not plugged in and that all parts are dry when you reassemble. To put it back together, set the extrude mix knob so the pointer is to the left of the extrude position and slide the mixing gate under the mixing bowl, aligning the teeth so they engage on the round gear. Then, turn the knob clockwise until it stops. The pointer should be on mix, and the gate should completely cover the drop slot hole in the bottom of the mixing chamber. Place the mixing arm in the mixing bowl with the tapered end placed over the ring on the front of the bowl. Slide ungrooved end of the mixing arm rod through the mixing arm by inserting it through the hole in the back of the bowl. Slide mixing bowl into main housing until it locks into place with a click and rotate the mixing arm to get the proper alignment for locking. Place the cover on the mixing bowl and lock it into place. Slide the pusher bearing onto the metal shaft of the pusher with the large flat end of the bearing against the pusher. Slide the pusher with the metal shaft end first all the way in, rotating if necessary until it sets in place. Select a die you wish to use and place it in a cup of hot water with 1 teaspoon of cooking oil added to it. Allow it to soak in the hot water and oil for a few moments. This step is very important to ensure successful extrusion and properly formed pasta. Remove the die from the hot water, spray it with a non-stick spray or put a couple of drops of cooking oil on it, and spread the oil with your fingers. Place the die inside the die holder, rotating it until the notches line up and it sets in place. Screw the die holder over the die and tighten it with the die holder wrench. When you're done, the die holder should be flush with the surface of the front panel. Operation. You are now ready to begin making pasta. Remember, it is very important to achieve the right dough consistency and texture in order for your machine to operate and extrude properly. You'll find that when mixed, the perfect pasta dough will be a bit loose and crumbly and consists of pieces slightly smaller than popcorn. If your dough looks like very small white granules, you'll have to add a little more water to correct it. If your dough is in large lumps or is sticky, it's too wet, and we'll show you how to correct it. So please watch carefully as we demonstrate how to prepare the perfect pasta dough using the die for spaghetti. Turn the extrude mix control to mix knead until it stops. The die is now closed and the gate should be shut in the bottom of the mixing chamber. Carefully measure 2 cups of flour in the pasta maker measuring cup and pour it into the mixing bowl. To measure the flour correctly, spoon it lightly into the cup and level it off with a spatula. The pasta maker flour cup differs from an ordinary cup. It is equal to 1 3/4 standard dry measuring cups. Add 1 teaspoon of salt if desired. Place cover on and lock into place. Plug in the pasta maker. Push the power switch on. Mix for 1 minute, then turn it off. Pour 1 tablespoon of olive oil or vegetable oil into the pasta maker liquid cup and add warm water to the top line. Please note, your pasta maker liquid cup is equivalent to 3/4 cup standard measure. Consistency and extrusion. Now comes the critical part. Turn on the pasta maker. Add the liquid very slowly, approximately 1/4 cup at a time, keeping a close eye on your dough consistency. After all the liquid has been added, mix for an additional 2 minutes. The dough is ready for extrusion when it is evenly mixed with a moist consistency and has granules ranging in size from coffee grounds to small popcorn size. Your dough will need to be slightly moister for finer size pasta like linguine. Your dough is too dry if it consists of tiny white granules. Take care. Overly dry dough can damage your machine. Add 1 tablespoon of water and mix for 1 minute. Check the consistency again. It still appears to be a little dry. We'll add a little more water, mix for 1 more minute, and check it again. Now the dough appears to be just right. Because different flours can have different moisture contents, occasionally you may have to add a little more liquid or flour than the recipe calls for. Dough is too wet if it forms separate large popcorn-sized or even larger lumps and is sticky to the touch. We'll add 1 tablespoon of flour and mix for 1 minute. The dough is still too wet, so we'll add more flour and mix again for 1 minute. Checking again, we now have the perfect dough consistency. If your dough ever gets so wet that it forms a large mass or requires more than approximately 1/2 cup of flour to correct, your dough may be too heavy and your machine will automatically shut itself off. Don't be alarmed if this happens. It's a safety feature to protect your machine from damage. Simply unplug the machine, disassemble, clean out the mixing bowl and extrude chamber, and start over. Now that you have a good dough mixture, you are ready for the extrusion process. Rotate the knob to the extrude position, making sure to turn the knob until it stops. It may take 1 to 2 minutes for pasta to gradually appear, and finer pastas like thin spaghetti and linguine require extra patience. They take a little longer. If dough doesn't emerge after 5 minutes of extrusion, or you hear a loud clicking noise, your dough is still either too wet or too dry. At this point, you must unplug the machine, turn power to off, disassemble, and start over. Stop the machine after the first 1 to 2 inches of dough have been extruded. Cut it off and discard these ends. They have cleared the oil from the die. Start the machine again, and as the pasta extrudes, cut to the desired length with your pasta cutter. If the flow of our pasta slows during extrusion, your mixing gate may be clogged. To clear, stop the machine, turn the extrude mix control to the mix position until it stops, then immediately return it to the extrude position until it stops and start the machine again. Now we'll prepare one of our favorite specialty recipes from the instruction booklet, tomato pasta using the rigatoni die. Place 2 pasta maker flour cups all-purpose flour and 1/2 teaspoon salt into the mixing bowl, just as we did for plain pasta. Place cover on the mixing bowl, lock into place, and push power switch on. Mix 1 minute. Stir together 2 tablespoons tomato paste and 2 eggs until combined. Add oil and fill with warm water to the top line. Turn on the machine and slowly add the liquid mixture to the mixing bowl as we showed you earlier. Correct your dough if necessary and extrude as usual. It's fun and easy to create different flavors. Cleaning. The cleaning process is simple and easy. Disassemble the machine as we demonstrated at the beginning of this video. Just hand wipe the main housing clean. Do not immerse it in water. Remember, it is an electrical unit like your toaster or coffee maker. You can wash all other parts in warm soapy water or in a dishwasher without using the drying cycle. Use a bottle brush to clean the extrude chamber. To clean the dies, use the enclosed cleaning tool or a toothpick, then wash by hand or in the dishwasher. Here's a tip for easier cleaning. Place the dies you used in the freezer for a couple of hours. They can then be tapped on the counter to remove particles before washing. Make sure all parts are thoroughly clean. Even a small piece of dried dough can damage the machine during future use. Reassemble your pasta maker as shown before. Place 11 of your dies in the convenient die storage area in the back of your machine. The 12th one is stored on the front, under the die holder. Hang the die wrench holder on the back and you're all set to store your unit until next time. Be creative. Try some of the great recipes we've included in your instruction booklet. Add a crisp green salad, a loaf of crusty bread, and a glass of wine. Your fresh pasta dish will easily qualify as a delicious gourmet meal.